Hello, Pop Market. I'm Tom York, and we're doing the unboxing of Radiohead. One of my favorite bands in existence besides Pink Floyd. Radiohead definitely are the most theatrical pop rock band on the planet ever. I don't even know if you can still call them pop rock, but I mean, they sell out every time they play a show, so they're probably pretty popular. Radiohead has always been kind of an angsty English rock band, making very sweet, delicate music. There's a lot of attitude. There's a lot of emotion in a lot of the stuff, but it's also kind of there's a punk aggroness to it. Not in the punk smashing windows and spray painting things, but kind of just like fuck you, we're gonna do what we want. So much so that they released In Rainbows for free. They were one of the first bands ever to do that. So today we have 4 of their records here with me, but we have all of them, all of the records reissued, repressed in Pop Market. Today we got The Bends, we got Hail to the King, OK Computer, which was of course their masterstroke, and we have the newest record, A Moon-Shaped Pool. Let's talk a little bit about how awesome Radiohead is again. So Radiohead, their first record, their first big hit was Creep, as we all know. I'm a creep. Cool song. The song is nothing like the rest of their first album, Pablo Honey, which was more of kind of like a British power pop type of thing. At that time, you had a lot of, you had Blur and you had Oasis and all the Creation record things happening, and Pulp and all that stuff. And Radiohead was just a little bit different. They kind of came a little bit later and popped into the grunge world. But then they put out this record, The Bends, which is a brilliant record. It has a little bit of the jangly rock thing from Pablo Honey, but they really start getting into something different here. They start really exploring the studio a little bit here, and this is more than a pop record. This pop rock record of the time. This is a really thoughtful record. Go into their OK Computer, which, as we all know, was their big hit and probably one of the best records ever written ever by anybody in the universe. And that's not arbitrarily said. That is real. This is one of the best records ever made, ever. Incredible cinematic piece. Incredible masterwork of theirs. Like, they could have never made another record again, and they still would have been one of the most important bands that have ever picked up guitars. Onward to Hail to the Thief. So we're kind of skipping every other record here. So we're missing Kid A here, and then there was Amnesiac. Then this record. And then the one right after this is Hail to the Thief, and then right after this was In Rainbows, which was the record that they released for free. In the climate at that time, all the record labels were trying to figure out how do we fight all this piracy, because everybody's, the internet's crazy and doing all this thing, and Radiohead was like, why would we bother doing that? Just give it away, mate. That's a terrible impression, but I'm gonna continue to do my Tom York impression. Yeah, so they just gave it away, which was a revolutionary idea for the time. I believe that was 2007. Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, in 2007, they released In Rainbows, and they gave away the MP3s, and then you could buy the physical. At that time, we were still solely as... we're just starting to move out of the CD world. People didn't want to carry CDs anymore. Everybody had an iPod. Everybody had an iPhone. And they were just like, yeah, just give it away. So they did. And then just recently, this year, they released Moon-Shaped Pool. Again, I believe that they did a free download. But right now, we have all the reissues of all the records, and I'm going to open up one of these bad boys just to see kind of what we got inside. I'm going to start with A Moon-Shaped Pool because it's the most recent record. It's free. So we got a gatefold here. Ooh, art. Really cool art. They've always had really cool art. They've never really skimped in that. And we have a foil stamp there. You can see that. They've always had really cool art, and this is really cool, like oil and paint on Warner. And then you see they kind of collage it, but That's how you get these crazy patterns. You usually like have some oil on top of water, and then you'll dab the paint on top of it, and does little mixy things like that. Very cool. And I imagine this is what Tom York feels like all the time. Me too. All right, so let's look at the vinyl. Slide one of these sleeves out. You have some more art on there. Side A, side B. Let's see what we got in here. We're looking at a nice 180 gram vinyl. Oh, cool. So on the little sleeve here, on the spine, it says, in lowercase letter, handwritten, synthesized. That's cool. And then it says, Baza Alchemy. I wonder if that's where it was pressed or if that's just a silly word they says. And then this side it says sanitized. Very cool. They got a little too much music on this side of the record, but you could see the density, the separation in between the grooves, which means they gave it a lot of space, so I'm sure the quality is fine, but typically your loudest audio is on the outside of the record, and your quietest audio is in the center. So anything you put towards the center is going to be slightly quieter and slightly more compressed. So just remember that when you're pulling out a record. And then look at this side, how much space they have from the edge of the tracks to the... Anyways, I digress. So that's so cool. Check this out. So it's even got design on the inside of the sleeve. You gotta love that. You gotta love that extra note, extra nod to detail there. And of course, we have our download card. That was hidden in that little chasm there. You see that? We got another one. Whoa, such a baby. That's Moonshaped Pool. Let's take a look at OK Computer, just because it's the greatest record ever made, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's the best. Original artwork. This is from the CD book, so it is original artwork as well, continued. But the original CD book was kind of involved and crazy. I wonder if they found... Oh, of course they did. They found a way to continue it and to continue that art. Anything fun written on here? No. Standard 180 gram vinyl. Really cool. You know, it's tough to make stuff stand up over time with graphic design that's this trendy. But I still think it's cool. Maybe that's just because I was young and excited about the band at the time. But I still think this kind of holds up, kind of like a David Carson-y type of deconstructed design. But we got another one of these guys, double sleeve. Stickers don't say what track they are, but you could, you know, just reference that. But let's listen to a track. So those are all black 180 gram audiophile vinyl, the complete discography of Radiohead in our shop. You can get them as a bundle for a reduced price, or you can get them separately on the cart. I don't know if you already have older versions of it. This is such a big deal because they haven't really been repressing any of these records. They're doing them all at the same time, the same quality, so you can have a pretty consistent setup of Radiohead records. And with that said, go out there and get them because the best records ever made. Anyways, thanks, Pop Mario. Have a good one.